All right, what's up, everybody? It's Justin here. So today I have the topic of gene editing and gene modifications. I got my boy Doug here.
What's good?
We're just gonna have a little fireside talk, sort of a little podcast talking about what gene editing is, how we see it in the future, and sort of discussing the ethical debate of gene modification. So if some of you don't know, gene editing is the process of altering DNA of an embryo. So scientists have used this on humans, mice, mushrooms, different agricultural produce. And with this, we are able to create a generation of disease, I guess you would say immune organisms. So with this, we have been able to create mushrooms that don't go as bad at a quicker pace. We've been able to develop mice who are immune to deafness. There was even a scientist in China who altered the DNA of an embryo in a human body. And with that alteration, she was resistant to HIV. So these are the different things that come with genetic modifications. Now, although all this sounds good, genetic modification does come with some side effects. With genetic modification, you do have a higher risk of developing cancer, sickle cell, different things like this. So this sort of forms the controversy of what gene editing truly is and what it could be among society. So Doug, how is your perspective on gene editing? How do you look at it?
Honestly, the way you explained it plays in different ways for me. For example, I see a lot of positives when you mention that this human being can be resistant to HIV. I mean, that's a disease that has affected millions of people. So with that being said, that's a positive, right? But then at the same time, you do have the negative effects of the higher risk of getting a tumor or having a tumor. But I feel like it plays hand in hand with each person though on how they feel about it. Right. It's all about morals and what you believe in, really. I mean, if you're religious, you believe God has, played a part in your life and He's created you perfectly. So why does that need to be modified? But if you're non-religious, you wouldn't have that type of perspective.
So what do you personally think?
I believe that modifying, like I said, I don't know, because I want to say it's wrong. It feels wrong.
Yeah, I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong.
Yeah.
The reason I think it's wrong, it's like, bro, that organism has not given you the consent to change its life, and then looking at it, we are really gonna develop a society basically of superhumans.
But wouldn't that be cool though?
It would be cool, but like, bro, from a humane perspective and from a morale perspective, we are human for a reason. We're not born to be immortal. Like, stuff happens for a reason. You die for a reason.
Think about it, but that's your perception of it. Think about it in this aspect. Imagine how much we push ourselves now with the limitations that we do have, and look at how much we have accomplished. And now we have a way to unlock, those limitations that we might have. So, for example, basketball, people play basketball, or sports in general, right? To be able to create or to be able to help an athlete be able to do more with, unlock those limitations before he's even born or she's born. But
then at that rate, you are basically allowing a parent to create their child's beauty, brains, physicality, all of that, bro. I don't think we should do that in a human standpoint. Now, from an agricultural standpoint, if it's like corn or like mushrooms or apples or something like that, I think it's valid. I think that's valid because like, why not? It saves money, and with that, you're being more conservative with your environment.
That is true.
So like, from a human perspective and just an organism as in like animals and humans, I think from an organism's perspective, why would we alter another organism's being? That doesn't make sense. bro, humans do that all the time. Like that, I just don't think that's valid.
But think about it like this: tilapia. That's not a real fish.
You're right. It isn't a real fish.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it still provides the nutrients that we, could live off of. You get what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. I mean, like I said, I feel like it plays hand in hand with your morals and what you believe in. But
so say you were in that judicial domain where you were able to call the shots, and someone had paperwork, they had stats, studies, all these different things of research, and they came to you and they asked you, like, would you be okay with this, like, this impact and this influence in human society? You would legalize it?
It would depend. It depends on what I believe the scientist, doctor, or whatever, the researcher, what their intentions are with gene modification.
Gene modification comes a lot of it's very complex. So a lot of people have been thinking that gene modification will go into capitalism, which I mean,
most definitely.
everything
Most
is gonna
definitely.
go into
That's just always going to be there.
And that's unfortunate, but that's really the thing.
Exactly,
so and if you look at it, if it's gonna go into capitalism, and it's based off of a socioeconomic standpoint, why would you even incorporate something that's gonna just basically suppress those in the socioeconomic?
And that is exactly what.
And this is beyond socioeconomic. Like, this is physicality.
That's exactly what it's going to do if you really think about it. And
right.
The only people that are going to have access to this type of, or the people that are going to have access to it first, at least, are going to be the wealthy.
Right. Exactly.
Makes sense. Imagine gene modification and the people with money having, let's say I like sports, I love sports. So just having the best athletes or being able to produce the best athletes because they can change their baby.
Right,
that would be crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and from a sense, like, us talking about it right now, like, of course it sounds cool, but it's not fair. Like, it's morally not fair, because at the end of the day, like, LeBron,
life isn't fair though.
I mean, life isn't fair. However, even though life isn't fair, that doesn't mean you make it more unfair. Like, that doesn't.
I mean, but I feel like that's always going to be in the play.
But okay, put that as life naturally isn't unfair. How about that? Life naturally is unfair.
But I'm saying
this is not natural.
I feel like it will never change. I feel like you can't change the percentage of how unfair life is, even with, like, you know what I'm saying, with money involved, non-money involved, or even with you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I feel like it will always be a rule of unfairness,
so
it can't be measured. Make sense?
So what do you see? How do you see, like, being that, like, scientists are actually in the lab studying the division of cells, studying how tools like CRISPR and all these different things that help genes modify and alter DNA, like, do you think this is gonna go into fruition in the near future? Like,
I mean, I feel like there are going to be people that are interested in this and are going to want to donate or help with that research or speed up that process for their own benefits. One being right now that I can already see is unlocking the limitation to live longer.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So if a human, we do what we do to survive, right? We want to live, right? So to be able to unlock that limitation, and if gene modification helps that, it's raps. It's raps.
But
it's raps.
Okay.
There's no stopping it.
This is simply how I feel.
Go ahead.
As people, whether you are religious, ethical, have common moral, anything, as people, it is just simply not just, nor is it right to sit here and change the life of another human or person or body or anything.
That's your truth.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro.
That's not everybody's truth. That's your truth. And my truth is similar too. I agree. Like, I feel like that should not be in the hands. Like, I feel like no human should judge a human. Right? I feel like that's not our place. You get what I'm saying? So, like, with that being said, I mean, as far as, like, whether a person should be punished or whether a person should not be punished, I feel like that's just not in the hands of a human. So, like, I'm against the death penalty. Like, you know what I'm saying? you sentence somebody to death for killing somebody, you're doing the same thing.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
the same as you. I also believe no sin is greater than the other. That
Right.
feeling of stealing out of the store
It's just
is
the same as killing something.
yeah, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
still a gut feeling that you get, and that's telling you it's wrong. I mean, yeah, it might be, the situations might be more intense and things might be amplified, but still, I still believe you still get that gut feeling that you know and it's wrong in your
Right.
conscience. But that's my truth. That's my
agree.
belief. You get what I'm saying?
Alright, so I just want to say thank you to watching my video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Let us know your perspective on gene modification and gene editing. I thank Doug for joining the video. Probably having future podcasts maybe. You never know. But I appreciate y'all tuning into the video. Thank you.